in minutes at Dollar Loan Center. Free to apply, and new customers enjoy 1 week of free interest on the loan. Visit don'tbebroke.com.
Tonight, the Las Vegas Aviators open up a 6-game home series against the Oklahoma City Comets. Tonight's first pitch, 6:05, and an early game tomorrow with first pitch at 11:05 at the Las Vegas Ballpark.
1, 2, get that!
Back to Justin Watkins, Cofield and Company on Las Vegas and Reno.
These are wild times, man. I keep saying that the last couple of days. We got all this ownership stuff to talk about. I guess that means we've grown up. Everyone around Vegas listening. In 2 years, we're going to be a 4 major league franchise city.
Plus NASCAR, plus F1.
UFC, boxing.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're unique.
Yeah.
Unicorn now.
It's nuts. We had a chance to talk about Mark Davis enough with what's going on with Raiders on. We're going to hit that in the 5 o'clock hour with some of the updates. But we got to mention this one, especially with Willie, who is the king of I Told You So. So we give him his just due when he is right. Willie, Justin noticed. Well, you're right a lot. Justin noticed that the Connecticut Sun are going for $300 million. This is 5 years after Mark Davis got the ace from the MGM for $2 million. Right, first name, because they're different. Just bought the Sun in the WNBA for $300 million. My Lord, Willie, Mark Davis doesn't always get credit as being a genius, but he nailed this one, didn't he?
He did, and I think, but let's give credit where credit is due to the foundation and sort of the groundwork that was laid by, so many WNBA greats in the past. I think he saw what was coming, what was growing. And I always go back to this conversation I had with him. It was during the Pac-12 tournament in 2021, because 2020, everything was shut down. We were at Mandalay Bay, and we were up in the upstairs in the stands for press row, still masked up. Mark Davis, after buying the aces, sitting across the arena was Russell Wilson to watch his sister play for Stanford in the tournament. I said, interesting. He said, I'm not here for any of that. He said, I'm a scout. I'm in love with women's basketball. He has been a big fan, and he saw something back then. And you're right. I mean, he made hand over fist to help turn this in, but everybody followed suit. And between facilities, that rubbed off on the Liberty and the Phoenix Mercury, and those are the two that followed suit. Now everybody's going to have a facility, and then what we've seen with the Caitlin Clark era do, and now Paige Beckers, and the next step, it's certainly turned into a gold mine. I don't know how much Mark Davis. I think the standard that he set with facilities is one thing. But I just been at the right times, like buying it in energy drinks when they first came out. That's what I think he did.
Justin, your reaction in a second. Willie, unmute your mic for the video, please.
I don't, I'm not one to giving Mark Davis credit as like a visionary. I want to find all the reasons to basically not find that he's a visionary in this regard because of the way he runs the Raiders or has run the Raiders as an owner. But you just can't argue against the evidence here. I mean, he bought in early and then invested in the facilities to a level that nobody else is willing to invest. And everybody, I think, kind of thinking you're not going to get an ROI there, but you've got NFL money, so what? And now he's at an ROI of what, 15,000%.
Well, the last time that the valuations came out, it was where they were near. They were in the high 300 millions. I think last year at some point they did, and I think this was because of the sellouts. Golden State had been valued as the highest one. They were fresh in there, so And I don't know if it's because they didn't have the returns back on overhead and whatnot. But let's go take it a step further as to who deserves credit. Let's go take it a step further for this growth, right? Off of Mark Davis's insight. As Justin mentioned, right? He buys the team from MGM, right? He buys and MGM, and they for a couple of $1 million. He builds a facility right next to the Raiders facility. But who else bought into that philosophy? He said, here's who else bought into that philosophy. Here's what needs to be invested. Here's how it's got to be invested. Here's how it's got Nikki Fargas, Becky Hammond, and then you put the ship in Asia Wilson's hands. So it wasn't just Mark Davis. Hey, so here's what we need. Hey, you give us this and let us drive this in this vehicle. So I think you look at the whole organization. You look at the whole organization. They've won 3 championships in 4 years. There are other cities that have facilities and power pack players and power rosters. Yes, but when you set a standard, you also have to have the people that can drive that vessel. So I give credit to Nikki Fargas and Becky Hammond and Asia Wilson, the face of the women's basketball right now, the greatest women's basketball player. I think they deserve just as much credit as driving the value. And then everybody else is in it, from Caitlin Clark to Brianna Stewart to Nafisa Collier to this new CBA to Nneka Ogwumike, and it's just driving the valuation of this league even higher.
Over a value at the time, let's call it $5. Then, and you're aware of it, and you have nothing to do with that bet, you can sue the winner of the bet for 3 times what the winnings were. What? And this law made it over the sea and into the Puritan values of some of the states, of the colonial states, and it actually exists still in 9 states and is in existence in DC.
Wow. And
because the Supreme Court's ruling saying that that we can't restrict states' ability to have sports gaming, there's a very clever person who filed a lawsuit in DC and said, DC is not a state. And they have this and statute.
Oh my God.
I'm going to sue DraftKings and all of them, every legal, quote unquote, legal betting service for billions under this Queen Anne statute that says, hey, I'm aware of these bets. I'm aware that you won these bets, and I'm going to take 3 times all of your winnings that you've had over the last course of the last couple of years. And I'm telling you, man, the argument is really quite genius, and the DC court that ruled against it had to really go through some legal gymnastics in order to try to avoid finding in this guy's favor. I'm going to say arguably found in wrongly.
Can he just appeal it?
He's appealing.
Go over to the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the Supreme Court having this in front of them and being like, what are we doing?
Well, that's the thing. Right?
Sorry.
It's the practicality of it, right? They're like, we can't ruin this whole industry, right? Like, this is billions of dollars have happened, legal betting. But what do we do here? That's clearly, in my mind, how the judge looked at this and said, the practicality of this, I've got to find a legal way to avoid this. I don't know if it'll hold up on appeal, but I thought it was such a fascinating one. I mean, it's the only jurisdiction in which you could bring this, because the states is succumbed by the Supreme Court's ruling, but DC is ruled by federal law, always has been. So it's not a equal protection amongst the states argument, and I don't think it invalidates the statute.
Legal insider Justin Watkins, former public servant Justin Watkins from Battleborn Injury Lawyers. Justin Watkins, 766-1400 is the number. We got about a minute left here on that predatory stuff. We covered the sportsbook end of it last week. I don't think we talked about the big decisions with Meta, but if you want to bring that up again, because it kind of opens things up in terms of using AI to get people, and I'm just going to leave it at get people.
Yeah, get people and tease out their weaknesses is what it really comes down to. If you're a shopaholic, if you're an alcoholic, if you are a workaholic, if you are a gambling addict, right? AI can legally target you on all of those things and get toward your weakness and really use your own behaviors against you in a way that no human would have ever been able to truly recognize. Wow. And I think we're going to see a lot of these lawsuits, and we're going to pull back the curtain. I hope, well, Meta's lawsuit did not get dismissed. And I don't think the lawsuits against DraftKings and any of the gaming platforms are going to get dismissed either. That means we're going to get into discovery, and we're really going to pull back the curtain to see just how vicious their targeting is. And I'll tell you this, they may not even know how vicious their targeting is because AI is doing it for them.
It's scary. And this is
super scary.
This is why I hate the robots.
Yeah.
But I've succumbed to the robot pressure. I took a Waymo when I was out of town last week, and I hated it every minute of it. I looked down the entire time, but I had one eye looking up to see if it was driving okay, and it actually drove pretty well. But I was pretty annoyed by it.
Yeah, I'm not there yet. I mean, like I use AI to help me facilitate my own thoughts and ideas, but I don't use it to replace anybody.
I'll tell you what I've gotten really good at is no AI at all. If you see, like, our graphics are pretty good now on social media. Like, we really cleaned them up. Some really snazzy stuff. It's all me.
Attaboy.
It's no AI.
Las Vegas, get ready for world-class golf. April 2nd through 5th, the Aramco Championship takes over the iconic Shadow Creek, and the biggest names in women's golf are coming with it. Watch world number 1 Gino Titikin, major champion Minjee Lee, and global superstar Charlie Hull battle it out live in Vegas. This is elite competition, unmatched atmosphere, unforgettable moments. Don't miss your chance to see greatness up close. Secure your seats today. Buy your tickets now on SeatGeek.com.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
After an accident, you don't want another headache dealing with the insurance companies. Let us get you all the money you deserve. Call 877-1500. That's 877-1500.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 877-1500. 877-1500.
Randy Westbrook, Managing Attorney.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
This is JT for Las Vegas's premier cigar lounge, La Casa Cigars and Lounge at Tivoli Village. You're going to be blown away like I was When I stepped into their walk-in humidor, over 500 cigar labels to choose from. Plus, they feature one of the largest whiskey, scotch, and bourbon selections anywhere in the valley with live local entertainment 7 nights a week. Great place to watch football games. Check it out at lacasacigars.com.
Time for dinner, breakfast, a late night snack? Then Jackson's Bar and Grill is the place to be. Honored for having a top value steak in Las Vegas, Jackson's Bar and Grill at 6020 West Flamingo has a 1 pound ribeye for just $22. Or you can get the garlic marinated beef filet. Same price, $22. You get veggies and your choice of a side. $22. That's insane. These steaks are awesome. During every hometown hockey game, it's pass the puck. It's your chance to win free play throughout the game. $5 happy hour all day, every day. It's Jackson's Bar and Grill, 6020 West Flamingo. It's Jackson's Bar and Grill on Flamingo and Jones.
It's time for ESPN Las Vegas legal insider Justin Watkins with Battleborn Injury Lawyers, only on ESPN Las Vegas and ESPN Reno.
Make sure to check out Battleborn Injury Lawyers on social media. Great videos. Justin's not always on the videos. He's on ours, but Matt Hoffman does the videos. We had Jaeger doing a bunch of them a while back, but you want to check them out. On our social media, there is a retelling. Well, it's not a retelling. It's a video of the story I told yesterday about bailing on my friends back-to-back meals while on vacation in a reunion type situation because I'm like, I don't like the restaurant, so I'm moving on. I have a story about an NFL coach that is kind of similar to that, like the oddness and the goofiness of it. I will get to that in the 5 o'clock hour. So that's an advanced tease, as we say in the biz. All right, we got 3 minutes left for a story that's really intriguing here with SEC football in Tennessee and state government and what's happening.
So the Tennessee legislature, in order to protect UT and all the other state schools, says, they're passing a bill that prevents disclosure of certain athletic department documents in a Freedom of Information Act request and open records laws, the state open records laws. And they say, we need to keep the playbooks safe. That's how they term it, right? This is a playbook safety so that the coach doesn't have to disclose their playbook, which, in theory could potentially be subject to it. But of course, like anything, you look at the fine print and it's much broader than that. It has anything about player retention and player, securing players. So it's going to protect how much they're paying on NIL, what their communications were with different recruits, and the information on how they are using NIL and pooling funds. And I would just caution states from doing that. And the reason is there's a real world example that I can use for my alma mater, Oregon State. You'll see that, and this is very inside baseball stuff, but the AD for Oregon State has just agreed to step down. He's resigning. He's come down on April 31st or August 31st. And the reason that that's happening is there has been a whole host of documents that were requested via Twitter on Freedom of Information Act that had to do with Blueprint Sports, NIL, the management of it, the kickbacks of it, who owns what, where it's going, and the deals that were being made behind closed doors. And there was a very diligent Twitter user, Belligerent Beaver, who requested all of these things.
Okay.
And they were going to they cost $2,200. And he put out a GoFundMe for all the Oregon State fans to say, hey, contribute towards this. I think something's going on here.
Ooh.
And everybody did. And he said, I promise to post every single document I get. And he did. He created a website, posted every single document. And the inner workings of how these deals were getting done was, I'll say, sketchy at best. And what came out of that was a whole bunch of finger pointing. No, not me, not me, not me. And the whole department is falling as a result. And I say good, because it clearly was not what they were communicating to the public and to the alumni of what was happening with this Blueprint Sports. The Blueprint Sports deal got nixed, done, out. The AD's gone, assistant AD gone, and they needed to go as a result of this. And there's no way we would have been able to get access to that information if there was a statement like this.
Do you think that Tennessee was thinking about that part, but putting the playbook, that's what we're worried about?
100% they're about protecting.
It's just a cover.
Yes.
It's a cover because they know how ridiculous this has been behind the scenes, and they don't want anyone delving into their biz.
That's right. They don't want to see exactly how the sausage is getting made there, like what they're paying these kids, how they're communicating with these kids, what offers they're making to these kids. Because remember, When you're a state employee, it's like your cell phone, all of your text messages, all of your emails. And man, when he posted that for Oregon State, I mean, it's tens of thousands of documents. And he went through it. He pulled up summaries and he laid out the timelines for everybody, but you could read every single document. And so, there's a lot of sensitive information in there, but you're state employees. You got to remember that. You can't just have these guys operating under the cloak of night and paying these kids millions of dollars. It's crazy.
Justin Watkins, great spot. Went by fast. 766-1400 is a call for anywhere in the state of Nevada. Number in the north, dial 775-766-1400.
If it's for the truck, give us a call. We've got it.
For the Truck is your premier truck shop. Our suspension experts will take your ride to the next level.
Steps, wheels, bumpers, suspensions, tires, covers, accessories, liners, lifts installed. For the Truck has it all.
Specializing in precision suspension tuning for sports cars, SUVs, and of course, trucks. From high-end alignments to full suspension upgrades, we have everything you need.
If it's for the truck, give us a call. We've got it. On 702-840-4400.
The Vegas Golden Knights are rolling through another epic season. And there's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside to enjoy while you cheer on your Knights on the ice. Surfside is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation. So it's easy to sip and enjoy. It's not seltzer, it's Surfside. Official partner of the Vegas Golden Knights. Sold in arena and at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
Hello?
This is Evil Bill from Big Bank. You owe the bank money and I'm going to collect. I'll call your house 1,000 times a day and even threaten to sue you. I'll invade your personal space by yelling at you over the radio. I'll call your family and friends to embarrass you to try and find out where you are. I'll even tell you that I'm coming to your house or office to have arrested. None of this is legal, but I'll say and do whatever I can to make you pay. What? Oh no, it's the Panhood.
Call Panda Law, 702-818-3888.
Fed up with harassing collector calls? We can make them stop.
If you have debt, collectors aren't allowed to harass you. Call Peters & Associates today to learn your options to get out of debt and make the calls stop.
Call Panda Law, 702-818-3888.
Patty Davidson here from BetMoneyHoney.com. Have you ever felt like the odd man out at a friend's house watching the game? After years in the sports betting industry, I can teach you the rules of different sporting events so you can now be part of that crowd of cheering fans with an understanding of the game. Plus, I can teach you how to place a bet on a game, which will completely change your perspective because you too can be a winner. Join me at BetMoneyHoney.com. That's BetMoneyHoney.com.
Before the first bell and after dismissal, school zones are filled with students who are walking, riding, or getting into cars. Slow down, follow crossing guard directions, and stay off devices. A safe school zone protects students so they can focus on learning. Help students get to and from school safely. Visit NevadaPTA.org to learn more about school zone safety. School zones are kid zones. Let's keep kids safe. This message sponsored by the Nevada Parent Teacher Association in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating with the Banana Bonanza smoothie.
Hey, and you can keep celebrating when you create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Go bananas.
I will. Hey, make it a large.
Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Okay. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by.
Okay.
It's time to talk to odds maker Ray Cleaver to see what's going on at the sportsbook.
It's Cofield and Company's Eye on Sports Betting on ESPN Las Vegas and ESPN Reno.
It is Cofield and Company on a Tuesday. Willie Ramirez along with Steve Cofield. Steve Cofield and Danny Quarterback the show back in the Toyota Studios. I'm on location. In Southern Nevada. Where? We won't reveal that. But it is time to do our Tuesday betting talk with William Hill. Ray, how are you? Welcome in. William Hill. Ray, how are you? Welcome in.
I'm doing great, but we need to stop the presses, phone the media, call in the National Guard because the Athletics has scored 3 runs today, and I don't think that's
long overdue for them
happened.
to pull out a win. And there's one thing that I noticed about that game today. I will tell you this, Ray. There's one thing that I noticed about that game today. I will tell you this: a little ghostwriting project, but I thought that it was a good spot for them. For the simple fact that I think when you're talking about I think when you're talking about whoever was up, who was up for the Braves, I'm trying to think. Whoever was up, remind me who was up for the Braves. I'm trying to think. Remind me who was up for the Braves today.
Who was pitching today?
They had an opener with Suarez.
Suarez didn't. His numbers were impressive. But you got to do a deep dive and see his previous 2 years with the Angels, and it wasn't that impressive. I thought this was a great spot for the A's to rebound today and have a decent game at the plate. It's a matter of whether they hit.
Well, I even texted Steve early this morning and asked him what kind of pizza he liked because last week I took the A's over 76.5 wins with a pizza bet with Steve, and he's already getting hungry.
Yeah, it's far from over, though. Come on now. The A's, it's early in the season. I was saying to Danny at the beginning of the show, you lose 4 in a row during the season, the middle of the season, no one cares. You're not gonna bat an eye. It just looks bad at the beginning of the season. I'll ask you, Ray, on the betting front. I ask all of our experts. And this is a good example. How do you see bettors approach, and especially sharp bettors approach, these openers and then dealing with the first 5 bet? Because more and more, because I was used to handicapping starting pitching, and now more and more you're like, man, I can't rely on starting pitching to go more than 5 innings. So what the hell am I betting on?
Yeah, I know. It's really funny that you say that because we've noticed an uptick in first 3 inning betting, first 5 inning betting. Run in first inning. I mean, it's the most popular bet there is called a Nerfie. A lot of people who bet baseball know what a Nerfie is, but it's no run first inning. Mm-hmm. And it is probably the most popular bet in all of baseball, including sides and totals. A lot of bettors are attacking that run in first inning with a no. And the thing about it is there are some great plus numbers on the yes, and you can parlay them. You can do whatever you want with them. The Cubs play in a while tonight, and their yes is like plus 115 at Wrigley Field. So, I mean, you can find some good numbers. But, yes, the professionals are attacking the earlier portions of the baseball games.
I would imagine. Go ahead, Willie. I would imagine that popularity. Is it similar to we've seen the popularity when it comes to hockey? Didn't first period totals become very popular in the last couple of years?
And what happened is they got a lot of guys who just were, for lack of a better term, not red asses. And what happened is baseball got away